Hey, welcome back guys. My name's Jason. Here's a little update on my weight loss, Zepbound, and whatever else I'm doing. So my last real, weigh in I think I talked about was on April 17th. I weighed in at 242.2. And then I put out a video on April 21st talking about going carnivore and eventually coming off of my Zepbound shots. So I did carnivore that week. When I weighed in on the 24th, I was 242 even, so a big old 0.2 pound weight loss. But I did really well on carnivore that week until I know I had some stuff on Saturday, and then Sunday we were gone for volleyball for probably 14 hours. And I know that I finished off my day with Tropical Smoothie Cafe and some cookies, which I wasn't very happy with myself for doing that. But then I decided, you know what? I'm gonna start a fast. Now, I haven't been able to fast for more than say 20 hours in quite a long time. I don't remember the last time I did a super long fast or, more than 24 hours, but it's been a long time. But at 9:10 p.m. on Saturday, I hit my fasting timer and I fasted for 41 hours and 22 minutes. Pretty excited about that. I felt pretty good throughout most of the fast. I have my notes down here. So when I weighed in on Monday morning at about 8 hours into my fast, I was 243.7. Then I went out, did a 1.75 mile walk. I lied. I didn't do that till later. So throughout the day, I felt fine. I didn't even take any salt to work or anything like that. I just took my Element electrolyte packets in my water. And then I also I have the cans also. I took one of those, drank my 60 ounces of water with 2 packs and then a pack or a can of Element. That night when I got home, didn't have any cravings for food, no headaches, nothing like that. It was pretty darn easy. The only time I had thoughts of food is when Amy and Addie were eating dinner. So I came out, did a little walk on the treadmill, and then that was the rest of my day. Super easy, very happy with it. And then I woke up on Tuesday morning at 33 hours into my fast, around 6 a.m., and I was 240.3. Felt pretty good. Went out and did a 1.7 mile walk. Had a little bit of a headache. Took some salt, put it under my tongue. Ate some salt, drank water, and within 30 minutes it was gone. Most of the morning was pretty easy, at work. I think it helped because I was busy most of the day. At around 36 hours, about 9 a.m., I wrote that I was feeling a little bit hungry, but not much. 10 a.m., I started not feeling great. I said I was lightheaded and blah. I had more salt. I had salt every hour at work. I took my bag of real salt, throw it under the tongue, and for most of the day, it worked pretty well. 11 a.m., I wrote struggling. Not really hungry, but feel very blah and a little out of it. Took some more salt. Finished off my day at work. I remember the last hour feeling pretty terrible. And it was more of a blah feeling. Wasn't feeling that hungry, just kind of like crappy. I don't know if I had much of a headache then, but it was just kind of felt out of it and tired. So when I got home, I broke my fast at 2:30 for 41 hours and 22 minutes. Now I didn't write down everything I had, but the first thing I had when I got home is I took my little NutriBullet out, put some Greek Oikos Triple Zero Greek yogurt into it, vanilla, a thing of the Fairlife, and a bunch of ice, and made it was almost like a little Frosty. I know it's not carnivore, but it worked. It's pretty filling. And then I had ribeye and a salad for dinner. And I also had some hard-boiled eggs from, when I got home from work and dinner. And then I had some Cheez-Its. That's not good. But anyways, I stopped eating, started my timer, and that was last night. I started it at 6:23 p.m. Today at work was pretty easy. I didn't write much down, and I did a walk this morning. But when I weighed in this morning after my refeed, I actually went down a little bit of weight, went down to 240.1. So on Monday, I weighed in at 243.7. The morning that I broke my fast, I weighed in at 240, 240.3. And then I broke my fast, and this morning woke up at 240.1. Pretty excited about all that. Made me feel good. Made me feel like I accomplished something, which was neat. Now, I started my fast last night, and then I did break my fast today at 4:18 p.m. So I did 21 hours and 55 minutes. Wasn't terrible. It was really hot today at work. I didn't feel hungry until I pretty much got home. My wife and I went out for coffee, had a doctor's appointment, and then came home and had a salad. I figured with all my fasting and my warfarin, if I don't eat some greens, my levels are gonna rise pretty good, and we don't want that to happen. So I had another salad, which I like, although having a salad is kind of like a transporter. The lettuce is like a transporter for ranch and cheese and things like that. But I had that when I first got home, and then just a little bit ago, we had some taco meat. My wife has a little thing she makes, puts it in ground beef for tacos, but we just had taco bowls, so it was just the taco meat, some cheese, and I almost said heavy whipping cream, some sour cream. And that was about 45 minutes ago. Now I'm in the garage. I'm gonna do a little workout. Might eat something else, and then, start my timer. Not sure if I'll go for another super long fast, or maybe I'll just try to go for like 21 hours again, something like that. Tomorrow is shot day. I'm doing another 7.5. This is like, I want to say this is probably I think this one coming up will be week 34. I had my doctor's appointment today, talked to my doctor about coming off the shots because of things with my insurance if I decide to switch my job. And then she told me that, all the time they're adding new things. Although I have sleep apnea machine, because I've had sleep apnea, which I don't use anymore, and with my vascular disease, she said those are two things that could, maybe my wife's insurance could keep me on the shots, but I kind of talked to her about not wanting to stay on them. She said that she thinks fasting would be a good way to keep making progress and, not go up, things like that. And she agreed that not going up in dose strength is a good idea since I'm going to come down. So we'll basically stay at 7.5 until, I don't know when. I don't know if when it comes time, if I'm just going to go cold turkey, or if I will figure out a way to go down to 5 for a couple weeks. I don't know. It's strange to say I don't know when it's a possibility that in like 12 weeks, I won't have insurance covering the Zepbound, and I will not pay for it anymore. Kind of crazy to think about. I feel pretty good. 33 or 34 weeks, whatever it is. Started off at 269.5, just weighed in at 240.1. We're making progress, slow progress, 0.9 pounds per week still. I think that's about it. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you in a few days. Bye.